Right. And Senator, why is it so important that we even have a conversation about allowing the president more time to implement his agenda? Do you stand the risk of missing the point that at the end of the day, it is service to the people?
Yeah, I think Sam, thank you very much once again, and I can see my good friend Paramalim is here. And he's even more experienced than me because he's been out and in and now. So I'm sure he'll also talk about it. Let me say this, Sam. It takes about 24 months for a government to settle. Mm-hmm. And then, funny enough, by the 36th month or so, we start campaigning. Mm-hmm. So within a 5-year period, about 40% of the time is spent trying to get to power and to settle. And then the rest is history. Now, if you have 5 years, mm-hmm. and then you have another 5 years, that is good time enough. Even if you are to say you spend maybe 3 years in the usual mumbo-jumbo of politics, then the rest you can still work for the people. And we have a very good example. I still want to refer to President Mwai Kibaki. Mm-hmm. He did not manage the politics very well, but we can credit him a lot for what the country was, the state that he was in, and what he was able to achieve. Right. It's the same case, and I'm very happy that UDA, my party, has come out very clearly that my good brother, who served in the Senate, the young lawyer, Charargei, is speaking on his own. I don't think I want to belabor the point. Americans have got a 4-year term limit. And they have been presidents who've only been elected once, and they were not re-elected like Donald Trump. He's trying to come back. Right. So you cannot therefore extend the term. I know, for example, in Switzerland, they have a 7-year term limit of 7 individuals who are president for 1 year each. So from each of the 7 cantons. And they have managed it very well. I have had the privilege in the past of meeting one of them when he was president. And Switzerland is one of the most successful societies in the world, actually. It's a good place if you go to Geneva.
How do they elect that one person?
The 7, if I get it right, the 7 are elected from the cantons, then they form like a council. Then they rotate, like you elect Mwaura, Sam, and then we serve, collegiate, but then 1 year, everybody takes a turn. I'm sure they agree how each one, who will be the first and who will be the last. In that way, so you have like a chairman of the 7, and it really helps. And it has really made the country to be very successful. And because they are multinational, they are multicultural. They are the Flemish, they are the French, the German. So they are able to help that kind of, division. And it was, at some point, it was considered, by the way, at independence, yeah, to be one of the things that we could have borrowed. In fact, it was the basis of Majimboism, if you remember that term. But now that we have gone pure presidential and we are following the American Washington consensus, the 2-term limit is okay. These are nexus, by the way, Sam, and we need to be objective in this conversation. If you look at Africa, when we got independence, a lot of presidents served for many, many terms, and it was necessary for them to consolidate the base of their country. So you have Jomo Kenyatta 15 years, you have Julius Kambarage Nyerere 25 years, and you can go on and on and on. But since the 90s, at the advent of multipartyism, then you have these 2 terms, and more often than not, a president will serve his 2 terms and move on. And that is what UDA was clamoring for when we were saying that we do away with the dynasties, so that hustlers can also rise to become president. So it has not changed. President Ruto has just done his 1-year term. We hopefully pray that he will be re-elected, and I urge Kenyans to re-elect him, give him more time to attain his agenda. Okay. But after 2 terms, we move on to the next, and that is the position, that is the constitution. Anything else can only be extra constitutional, Sam, and you would require to have a referendum on it. It's a very serious issue. Okay.